You know, I'm going to be debating Destiny next month. I'm sure it'll go well, you know. I'm going to be honest. I kind of feel like he's losing his fucking mind. This is the entirely unprofessional editorial opinion here. I don't normally like to take digs at Destiny because I think it makes me look salty. It makes it like I came from his community, I still got to take shots. I feel like it makes me look petty. But sometimes the content that I am looking at is unwatchably brain dead. And it sucks because it makes me look like a fucking idiot because I remember when Destiny was really cool, you know? I mean, I never agreed with him on everything. We were never, perfectly synergized when it came to our political opinions. But this, I mean, fuck it. Take it away. Destiny, take it away. The conversation that this opened up with, I think, was on the ease with which poor people could move if their rent was too high. Like, oh, my rent's too high. Oh, just move. Like that convo, you know? Ooh, good volume.
Your take on people struggling to live in expensive here should just move is dumb. Change my view. I don't actually want to talk about it. The problem is that it's too hard to talk. I don't know who's just like a dumb fuck kid or whatever, which is like, it's really frustrating. Like, this notion that poor people literally can never move, it's not reflective of reality. It's not reflective of why it did. It's not reflective of anybody that's ever been poor. It's not reflective of anybody's anecdotes of poor people. Like, it's just like a college kid's like idea in head of like what it must be like to be poor. Like, oh.
So I gotta open with this really quickly. I gotta call out the straw man, Nobody says nobody can move. That's sort of his characterization of the counter argument at the beginning there. Nobody says poor people can never move. I also think it's funny. He does this a lot. He does this with the Bernie bro thing too, where anytime anyone disagrees with him, it's because they're an inexperienced college student LARPer who is unfamiliar with the real world and is just projecting what they think the real world is like. It's an archetype he does a lot. And it's funny to me because college students are often very poor. I don't know where I don't know what his experiences came from. I came from a fairly decent family with decent money, and I still had to live off like $25 a week on groceries. I was nearly homeless before I started streaming, and I was a college student with family support. Now, I'm sure if I'd begged and pleaded, I could have gotten more money out of my folks, but like, I was lucky. There are a lot of college students who are genuinely very poor. So just this juxtaposition, like, oh, you don't know what it's like to be poor. You're probably a college student. It's very weird to me.
Oh yeah, when you're poor, you can never ever ever move. Like, poor people change like places they live like all the time.
Hold on, I'm gonna move my chat because my chat and his chat. We're lining up. But I'm gonna do you guys a solid. I'm gonna put you right here. Okay? See, you're in the middle. They're in the left. Love you guys.
Like. Maybe not like and not like you're upgrading to like a crazy place in like fucking New York or some shit or whatever, but like this idea that like poor people can't move is like not reflective of reality at all. It's really fucking stupid. Problem is humans have roots in their communities, blah, blah. Oh yeah, that's cool. If you want to die in some community that you're in, or whatever, or if you want to be poor, financially destitute your whole life because you want to live near friends, that's your choice. That's cool.
If you ever want to know what it feels like to have your capitalist alienation like reified and talked back at you to be justified, you can replay that segment on my video or his. What? Community, community bonds. Oh, yeah, feeling close to the people with whom you've lived. Being close to your family who provide financial support. Being close to all the friends you've lived with your entire life. I know Destiny is very comfortable just moving, bouncing all over the country, and all of his friends are on the internet. And the ones that aren't, he feels comfortable leaving in different cities. Not everyone is like that, and not everyone can afford this cosmopolitan lifestyle. Whether we like it or not, humans have very deep communal connections to the people we grow up around. This is anthropologically and psychologically demonstrated just over and over and over again. Humans aren't islands. So mocking people for wanting to like form community bonds, he doesn't even treat this as a valid counter argument. We haven't even gotten to the central like point of the argument here. Now, I would agree, like if you can move and you're trading that community worth for like another really important thing, like you got a really cool job cross country, or there's some tight pussy just waiting for you. Like, I can understand there are arguments, but he just dismisses this, which makes me think he doesn't really care about the argument. Like, he doesn't care about the idea of people feeling close to where they were born, which is, again, very important, I think, for humans.
Just accept that that's your trade-off or whatever. You want to, like, it's worth it. That's fine. But then don't complain about being poor. That's just whatever. Or
so if you want to live in the community you were born in, don't complain if you were poor. You just don't. You don't get to. Just you don't get to. I understand some of these comments are hyperbolic, but this is insane. Like, he was not like this a year ago. I don't know what has motivated him. I
don't
mean,
say that it's impossible to move, rather. Like, there are still, like, social programs and shit we can talk about to help, like, impoverished people. But don't sit there and pretend like moving is fucking impossible.
what social programs make it easy for poor people to move? I mean, there might be that I'm not aware of. I'm pretty sure moving is really fun. This is literally a meme. Just move forehead. Guys, my rent is too high. Just move forehead. Like, that, he's literally doing the meme. And what's more, nobody is saying it's impossible for poor people to move. This is a bullshit straw man that conservatives and libertarians throw out to dismiss the reality of income inequality. You're saying nobody can become a billionaire in a capitalist system? I think like 400 people on Earth would have something else to say about that. Oh, you think you can't make it when you were born in the ghetto? Look at my friend over here. He just did a PragerU video about how because he did it, everyone else can. I think he'd have something to say about that. It's the same bullshit individualist nonsense where you dismiss the statistical probability of failure by pointing out like, oh, well, technically it's still possible. We know it's fucking possible, my dude. Nobody's saying it's not literally possible. We're saying it's really fucking difficult. There are good reasons to stay where you were born in many cases. And that if people's rent is too high, fucking multi-millionaires, like Destiny over here, come across as a little bit crass and stupid when they start making comments about how, well, actually, it's much easier to move than you're suggesting.
Saying it's impossible to move is a lot different than saying, like, oh, well, I want to live next to my friends. You do agree it's harder for poor people because you need to put down the first 1 to 2 months when moving in? First, where do you put down 1 to 2 months of rent when moving in? What is this? Where have you ever moved in your entire life where you put down 2 months of rent? Because
What?
Please tell me that. As somebody that's lived in apartments being poor and rich, I've never heard of putting down 2 months rent.
What? Well, I don't know, Destiny. I mean, shit. Weren't you were poor before this? What? It's always every apartment I've ever been. I'll tell you guys. You know where you don't put down first and last month's rent for a deposit? Rich people, because deposits are are increased relative to the amount of rent that you pay. When the landowner thinks there's a high risk of damage being done to the property, which is higher with poor people. But I bet Rich Boy over here, fucking $3,500 a month apartment in Glendale, I bet he didn't get that fat deposit. I would bet you anything. I think he lives in Glendale. He lives probably like 15 minutes away from my family's house in Los Angeles. I'm pretty sure I've driven through the area that he's in. But holy shit, dude. No, nobody pays first and last month's rent. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? I remember when Destiny was consistent about calling out people who would speak over the poor man's experience. Oh, they would do this all the time. He would do this. He'd be like, well, hey, listen, one of the best things that I got from being poor was an understanding of how fucked it is to be poor in this country. It's disgusting how once you're poor, you stay poor because the fees that mount up. And I felt like there was no hope for me getting out. And that's the real pain of being poor. I remember these videos from him just a few months ago. Not months, sorry, years ago. Not months, sorry. He was still stupid a few months ago. But this is in stark contrast.
To live in an apartment. First and last? Okay, I've never had to do that in my life. I don't know. Maybe there are some states that do this more or something.
I've only ever been in California and Washington. I feel like the people in my chat have been in states other than that, and they seem to have experienced the first last month deposit. So I don't know.
But even if you have to put down first and last month of rent, you can pick a cheaper place. It'll save you money ultimately.
Jesus Christ! Just move, forehead! The fuck are you talking about? Most Americans, like fucking 80% of Americans, live paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans can't afford a $300 emergency. Do you have any idea how fucking much it costs to move? Not just the cost of moving itself, but the opportunity cost of losing days at work. You have to change jobs. Sometimes there's uncertainty about whether or not you're going to get work in whatever area you're moving to. There's usually like a change in commute. There's a wide variety of expenses that are associated with acclimating to a new neighborhood. There are like the way in which this compounds is tremendous. This is very, very easy if you're wealthy, by the way. Thanks to you guys, I can just do this now. When I moved up to Washington, I should like last month's rent. Oh, gotta do this, gotta get this, upgrade this, gotta get this. Set it out, you know, oh, I'm gonna miss a week of streaming. Okay, I can survive that thanks to the wonderful generosity of my viewers. Thank you very much. But I recognize that I'm lucky and that my personal experiences aren't a fucking template upon which you can judge poor people for staying in expensive houses.
Isn't this the bootstrap meme? No, it's not the bootstrap meme. Doing anything to improve your life condition is not a bootstrap, dude. Like, Jesus Christ, poor people are some of the most financially fucking retarded people in the whole fucking world. And like, people are like, oh yeah, well, you know, you can't help but rack up massive credit card debt and take out payday loans and live in expensive places and never—
Look at the contempt that he has for poor people. Look at the sheer fucking contempt that he has for you if you're poor. When he sees a poor person, you know, he doesn't think all the, you know, systemic analysis, hey, it might have been because of this, or maybe we can address this. All that's out the window. Consequentialism gone. We're in full-on prescriptive egoism mode, baby. I should only give a fuck about myself. You, because you are poor, you must be stupid. You must have failed in some way. This is everything wrong with our system. And he's a millionaire. He's playing League of Legends. He's worth millions of dollars. I can only assume. Dude makes a lot of money. He's playing League of Legends, and this is what he's talking about. You know? Yeah, he argued against these same talking points when he was arguing against Sargon of Akkad.
No, like, there are things that you can do to like improve your conditions. Like, yeah, like maybe, you know,
even his chat's upset with it. Look at his chat over here. People like, stop, and everyone's got like the frowny faces. Like, holy shit, dude.
Social programs and all that other shit are good to talk about, but don't sit there and act like poor people are just this fucking amorphous blob of like fucking like brain matter lacking like dipshits that are literally incapable of doing anything positive.
Wait, what? Don't pretend that poor people are dumb when you just said poor people are all retarded financially. Wait, did he mix the points there? I feel like, because he just did the thing. Okay, maybe he missed missed the lead on that.
Positive to improve their conditions. It's so fucking dehumanizing and not true.
This is literally the fucking Candace Owens bigotry of low expectations argument. This is literally the Democratic plantation. This is the same argument. It's so dehumanizing and racist of you to say that black people can't get it out of the ghetto. This could be a PragerU talking segment. That's not hyperbole. I know I love my hyperbole. This is a PragerU talking point right here. It's racist of you to say that black people can't make their way out of the ghetto. Are you saying black people can't do stuff? You know, old Destiny would say, well, I recognize that black people can do as much as any other group, but any group that faces systemic poverty and institutional discrimination is going to need some help on average to get out of the ghetto or whatever. That's old Destiny, okay? Modern fucking Destiny. Holy shit. I haven't seen that. I'm watching this live as you guys are, okay? I just assumed the video would be bad because Conyer in Discord said, holy shit, this video is bad.
And stupid, too. It reeks of fucking dipshit-ass college kid that has no fucking idea what any of those conditions are like. Like,
doing it again.
Yeah, when you're poor, you can never—
Nah, reeks of people who have no idea what it's like. Who puts down first and last month's rent as a deposit? Who does that? Nobody does that.
Ever move. You can never ever do anything ever. You have no choice
Nobody
but to match
says
everything
this.
on our credit cards and do nothing. Like, Christ,
Nobody
it's so
says
fucking
this.
stupid. Holy shit. I think the upfront cost is what's prohibitive for a lot of people. How did they move initially? Like, what are these people? Are they were middle class and then they became fucking poor? Like,
what? Because you spent a lot of money once, that means you can spend a lot of money a second time? What the fuck? Damn, dude, nailing it to the wall. With this logic, this big brain. It's so smart.
shut the fuck up. It's part of like.
Did he realize midway?
But it's I understand. Never mind.
Yeah.
With anybody in probably in the whole Western world, but especially Americans. You lot are dumb as fuck when it comes to finances. Jesus Christ.
I will say, to interlude, I will say, tons of people are bad at finances. If you think that middle class or rich people are better at finances than poor people, you're fucking stupid and you've never interacted with any of these demographics, okay? Rich people, middle class people, poor people, we're all fucking stupid when it comes to finances. The only reason why rich people come off a little better is because they have the money to pay fucking accountants, okay? That's it. All right, that's the fucking difference. It's a class difference which is reinforced exclusively by financial, by financial means. That's it. So I agree with that. But to then use it selectively against the poor as a justification for why they not only are in poverty and can't move, but shouldn't be able to move because their financial illiteracy is a sort of moral weight that condemns them to the depravity of poverty. It's genuinely disgusting. Yeah, sorry about the multiple chats, guys. Mine's in the middle, his is on the left. You can tell because our subcolors are orange and his are blue.
Whether it's lefty dipshit college kids or whether it's just poor people that legitimately have no fucking idea like how to do anything with money.
What's your source that would say poor and rich people are the same at finances? I don't really have a source. I mean, I've interacted with people of all social strata. I grew up in Beverly Hills, There are a lot of wealthy people who are pretty stupid when it comes to finances, too. They can just afford to be stupid, and they have accountants. And I've had poor friends, and a lot of poor friends make poor financial decisions. The key difference is rich people can afford to be stupid with their money. That's really it, You can make an equivalently stupid decision as a poor and a rich person that'll send the poor person to the streets, and the rich person, hey, maybe I get taxed at a slightly lower bracket this year. Anecdote, Andy, pepelaugh.
Money, or whether it's people in chat, Christ, holy fuck.
Okay, here's it. Because most lottery winners lose most of their wealth within a short period of time. And athletes and musicians and other people with exorbitant amounts of money will often face insolvency or bankruptcy. There we go. That's my source. Fuck you guys.
Fuck. What about getting a new job, Destiny? That isn't always easy at all. Maybe not if you're living in the most fucking populated parts of the fucking world. It's not. Oh, here he comes.
What?
The unemployment right now in the United States is literally 3.5%. If you can't find a job now, just fucking end it all. You're never going to be anything in life.
So, leaving aside the point that it's easier to find work in big cities than it is in rural areas, I mean, my man over here, my totally not mad at the lefty arc man. This is good like PragerU stuff. Actually, PragerU would be more tactful than this. PragerU would disguise their... Holy shit! All right, we're gonna have to get to that one in a second, comrade. We're gonna have to get to that donation in a second. Speaking of financial solvency, so we're gonna address that one shortly. But before we get to that one, because I have to stay on topic here. I'm literally ADHD. I lose focus all the time. At least in a PragerU video, they would disguise their seething contempt for the poor and the homeless and the unemployed with the same pseudo-motivational rhetoric. Like, this is America. Anyone can make it here, All you gotta do is pull yourself up by your bootstraps. There'd be this facade, this jingoistic sort of veneer. But with Destiny here, he'll just say you should kill yourself if you're unemployed, it doesn't matter what extenuating circumstances there are, it doesn't matter if there's any work in your area. Maybe you're disabled, maybe you're dealing with a mental health crisis, maybe you haven't been able to because you've been taking care of, a sick family member and you've been living off bills, maybe, wide variety of things. That's okay. Just kill yourself. This is a very big brain, approach towards dealing with systemic poverty in a sociological sense.
Nothing is going to help you. No amount of welfare, no amount of UBI, no amount of social. You're never going to make it. Just stop. Give up. Go back and live with your fucking parents forever, or fucking just walk off a fucking cliff. Like, you're done. Like, that's it. Like, I'm sorry. Like, unemployment has never been lower. Like, drive around any fucking small town. I remember in fucking Nebraska and Omaha, there were signs up at like the fucking Starbucks that they're hiring for like 13 an hour. Even Burger King and McDonald's in my area was like literally 11 an hour. If you can't find a job when unemployment is at 3.5%, you're never gonna make it. You're never gonna be anything that can survive on its own. Like, go live with your fucking parents forever. A lot of people do that anyway now.
Can you believe that just a few short years ago, this person was arguing, against alt-righters and like Sargon of Akkad, who are making arguments that like the poor, you know, like if you systemic poverty is like a bootstrap issue, and Destiny would come in and say, well, there are systemic issues that need to be. I'm going to be frank about this. Normally, I'm not this like prescriptive. I think this is genuinely sociopathic. Normally, like libertarians, at least have this like feeling like, well, you know, if you're poor, you're a failure, but you can always make it. But this is like some hardcore like biological prescriptivist shit. Also, this is not how you measure unemployment. Just because unemployment is low does not mean that everyone has ease of finding jobs. The existence of any unemployment means there are people out there who are trying to find jobs but cannot find them. That's how we measure unemployment. But you know, I mean, or you could fucking kill yourself.
Just do that. Jesus. Like, Christ, there's some fucking guy that, like, got his second raise at Burger King. Like, I'm never gonna be able to find another job like this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
What the fuck is
like,
he
people
talking
watch too
about?
much of The Big Bang Theory, and they think it's normal that, like, a fucking person on, like, one income with, like, a fucking waitress job is gonna have, like, a massive studio apartment fucking high-rise in Brooklyn or some shit. Like, it's crazy.
Don't get too uppity, you fucking pores. You think you've gotten accustomed to what you have now? You still have it easy. You deserve less than this, and less than what you're imagining is less than this. Just seething, unadulterated contempt for the poor. I don't even know what point he's trying to make. I feel like his brain is melting live. It might be League of Legends, but I mean, he is 0-2 here. I'm covering that up. So maybe he's mauling over the score. I have no idea.
What was the topic that started this? It's just like the people on the left have unironically turned into what people on the right accused like straw men for in the past.
And we bring it all the way around. Huh. I didn't used to be anti-left. In fact, I was on the left. But then the left became the straw man the right was talking about. So now, to combat the excesses of the SJW legions, I too puts on sunglasses and fedora, must join the intellectual dark web. What's that Cody Johnson tweet? The left got a little too PC, so I changed my mind about it. You know, the left got a little bit too PC for me, so I switched all of my talking points in systemic poverty from ones that aimed to institutionally address systemic barriers to overcoming poverty to just telling unemployed people to kill themselves. You know, the left got a little bit too PC, so I turned from an anti-alt-right debate streamer to a PragerU style advertisement. What an extraordinarily disappointing turn. I'm going to say it. This is my sort of official call. I don't know how much more value we're going to get out of this video apart from mocking him, but we'll keep it up. But I'm going to say this, you know, as of this point, I don't think there's any respectability to be found in Destiny's content. Even his rhetorical skill has dampened significantly. The arguments that he's making here are absolutely full of holes. They are invalid arguments. They are unsound arguments. There's no worth. There's no justification. And for that reason, I think you can fairly treat Destiny the same way you would treat any other centrist type grifter, you know? Think of maybe like a Styx type or a Razor Fist type. Now, he's progressive, of course, so he's not as bad at them politically. But in terms of the way he's framing his content, I would consider this to be fairly comparable. Having gone over Razor Fist stuff, having gone over Styx's stuff, this feels like that. I don't know if this is just a really bad day for him, but oh boy.
people on the right would like make fun of lefties, like, oh, you're saying that no one can ever do anything to help themselves, and the reasonable
Nobody
answer on the left is
says
like,
that.
no, of course people can help themselves to some extent, but like there are structural or systemic changes that like need to go into place to make this like a more realistic way for people to solve their problems. But now people on the left, because they've gone full socialist, they're no longer like,
Holy, he actually sounds like a fucking PragerU. Dude, the left is the same that it's always been. Nothing has changed. You have changed. I've been following everything left for longer than you've had a decent understanding of the political sort of spectrum. It hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. What do you mean the left has gone full? The socialists were always there. The arguments haven't changed. I talked with you years ago, making the talking points I'm making now, not making the talking points you're making now. You, even back in 2015, 14, you weren't this stupid. But nothing has changed. It's your perception, your subjective experience that has changed. That is it.
like social dems anymore, or like anybody reasonable. They're just dipshit fucking tanky larpers are now unironically saying stupid shit like, oh no, if you're poor, you can literally never ever move. It's impossible.
Literally no one's saying this. But yeah, everyone's a tanky. Everyone to the left of Destiny is a tanky. Anytime a lefty asks him a frustrating question, you know, that person was a tanky. Anytime Destiny looks at a cute picture of girl with big boobies, he feels a funny feeling in his pants, and that's a tanky. Everything's a tanky now, you know. I see him do this to his chat. He'll like, yeah, I've got all those Chapo tankies out. Fucker, half of Chapo's listeners are libs, okay? I'll show you fucking tankies. Fucking talk to the people in my inbox, okay?
Possible, which is like just fucking stupid. It's beyond fucking stupid. Just reeks of fucking dumb fuck college kid.
No point being made, by the way. No arguments. Just stupid.
Do you agree that it is harder and that it's an interesting conversation to talk about the solutions? Yeah, sure. But if anything that you say starts with "it's impossible to move," then no, you're
Nobody
not worth
says
talking to.
this.
Like, because you have no fucking idea what the fuck you're talking about. But yeah, of course there are multiple things to talk about. But when you think that moving is impossible as a poor person, like you've already removed yourself from the fucking conversation.
Nobody says
Whoever
this.
said it's impossible.
Somebody said nobody says it's impossible, and Destiny instantly permabans them.
Oh fuck, we shouldn't have started off with this shit. Oh,
Yep,
God,
people
fuck, I'm
people
already
are
so
like,
pissed.
"Hey, dude, you're straw manning them," and he just starts banning people. Anyone, I'm serious. Destiny used to be very open with disagreeing with people. Like he would allow discourse in his community. He has purged his Reddit, and he has purged his site chat. I'm not joking. His Reddit has had rolling purges of everyone even remotely left-leaning. The only way to be left-leaning in Destiny's like community now is to be in his like, I don't know, YouTube comments. But he like all these people are just like, hey dude, no one's saying that. He just permabans. No engagement.
Triggered for today now. Every fucking person on Reddit that was like trying to argue about it too, as soon as I was like, hey, do you want to chat about it? Like, oh no.
What?
Did you see Molly me
What?
said you could?
Yes, Molyneux makes up like any. No, I'm not gonna push back on it. Molyneux knows who I am. We've like Twitter battled a lot in the past. He'll make up any excuse to dodge me. The fact that any of you guys are gullible enough to think that, oh well, the reason he didn't was just because Desi wasn't professional enough in emails is beyond fucking stupid. Like the guy will look for any reason not to talk to me. Like he already has in the past. He'll continue to do so in the future. Destiny, coming from someone who has none of the experience, what is the moving process like?
Oh, I wanna bring this out. As long as I'm slamming Destiny, and I feel this is appropriate because he's kind of acted like a fucking cunt. So I feel like, you know, a little justified in this. I'm debating Destiny, and I'm trying to like figure out a topic with him because we needed to like, you know, set a topic, for example. Here, let me see if we can like avoid any identifying information. Obviously, that would be sort of preferable. But anyway, I've asked him like directly in person before. What topics do you want to go over? Because this is good. This is interesting for me. I haven't gotten to debate with him in ages. And anyway, modern day debate. James, the person who's hosting, he reaches out to us to ask when we're free to debate. And Destiny responds, and I respond, of course. You know, we're both streamers. We've got plenty of free time. He says his times or whatever, and then I'm like, hey, you know, Destiny, what topic? The importance of socialism and populism moving forward, how to protect our democracy, who we should vote for, death of Sure, any under all above, why not? Which, I don't know. Maybe I come off maybe I'm coming off a little bit like entitled here. It just feels kind of like rude to me a little. But so it seems he has a habitual issue with being rude or unprofessional in DMs with people, or over emails with people, not just with like the Stefan Molyneux, Ethan Ralph thing.
The whole thing seems like it'd be very difficult. It's not. Moving is not hard.
I don't even know what to say to this. I have money, and moving was one of the most difficult things I have dealt with. Moving cross states was harder than anything I did in college. It was incredibly stressful. What the fuck is he? Moving is literally, wait, let me Google. Most stressful events in life. Because I'm pretty sure, wow, moving! Real, whoa! British company Eon conducted a survey of 2,000 people, and 6 out of 10 people cited moving as the most stressful life event. What's more, with divorce or a breakup coming in second, moving ranked higher than divorce or a breakup. Oh, but it's easy. It's totally easy. Because everyone, as I'm sure Destiny is well aware, is a multi-millionaire who can pay people to move all of their furniture, who works from home and doesn't have to worry about finding a new job, and has a essentially limitless cushion of money to move from one place or another, to buy new furniture. Apparently his house his apartments are so nice he doesn't even have to put down last month deposits, you know?
You rent a truck for fucking $25. You
Holy shit, thank you, comrade. Gonna nail that one in a second. Thank you.
pack your shit in it, and then you fucking move. You should be able to do it in a day. Unless you
What?
process like, the whole thing seems like it'd be very difficult. It's not. Moving is not hard. You rent a truck for fucking $25.
What, 25? What the fuck is he talking about?
Pack your shit in it, and then you fucking move. You should be able to do it in a day. Unless you're like a family that's got like a fuck ton of shit or whatever, but like...
Or if you're a family at all, dude. Do you have any idea how hard moving is if you have a kid? I'm literally watching his fucking brain melt. Why would his editor put this out? I feel like if I was Destiny's YouTube editor like a fucking comrade? I feel like this is the equivalent of like if I had an editor who put out my videos, it would just be like a highlight of like me making weird creaking noises, burping quietly when I thought I had the mic muted, and like my fucking ass crack showing when I get up to use the restroom. Like this is what this feels like to me. Like this is such an unbelievable demonstration of brain soupage that I am shocked it is being aired to the public.
It's not a very difficult thing to do. If you're like a normal, well-adjusted human being as well, you should have some number of friends or family or coworkers you buy them a pizza or some shit, they'll come over and help. It's not that difficult.
Damn, dude. Yeah, we all have friends who can just spare 8 hours. They don't have lives or jobs or anything. If you're a decent, well-adjusted person, you can just bring in, if you're very poor, you work 2 or 3 jobs, you have to take care of your kids. You can just sort of absorb your local friend group to help you out with this incredibly strenuous task.
Consumer prices have been steadily growing while wages stagnated. Social media in the U.S. is not on a good level. Man, I wish if somebody could just find me a fucking... Can we just go adopt a fucking poor person? And I could just...
I love it! Chat presents him an argument, and he doesn't respond to it. Listen to that again.
Consumer prices have been steadily growing while wages stagnated. Social mobility in the U.S. is not on a good level. Man,
yeah, see, exactly. Social mobility is going down. Wages have stagnated. Prices are going up. How do you respond to this one, Destiny? That seems like a pretty empirical, data-backed point that completely blows you the fuck out when it comes to all your dipshit, bootstrap libertarian arguments.
Man, I wish if somebody could just find me a fucking... Can we just go adopt a fucking poor person?
Nailed it! The classic counter... I tell you, folks, I'm speechless. I would have never been able to come up with a zinger as good as that one. So anytime the data looks a little bad, for your side, just whoop, here's some hyperbole to chew down on.
and I could just do like fucking 1 hour a week financial consultation stream, I swear to God, I could improve this person's condition in life like 9,000 fucking percent.
This is the perfect exemplification of the degenerate, heartless logic at the soul of austerity capitalism. He genuinely believes that people are poor because they're stupid. That's what he believes. He believes that if only they had his wisdom and his intellect, if only they had his limitless reservoir of life knowledge, they would be able to succeed. And as a corollary, it is because of Destiny's wisdom that he has made it so far in life, and for no reasons other than that. You see, it's just in their blood. Stupid people are just stupid. Or poor people are just stupid, sorry. You know what would actually materially help out all of the poor people he would offer financial consultation to? Instead of sitting them down and talking to them for an hour, sit them down and then give them $1,000. I guarantee you that'll do infinitely more good. There are poor people who are probably really stupid with their money, though. Yeah, no shit. There are people of all income levels who are stupid with their money. That doesn't change the fact that being good with money doesn't fucking magically make you not poor.
Like, what do you think the best way to educate people on finances? I have no fucking idea. Most
Get
people
them to
don't
watch
understand
this
interest rates.
stream.
Most people don't understand debt and how to use it or stay away from it. Like, people don't have a good concept of budgeting. Fuck, Jesus, I don't even know where the fuck I would start with the average dumb fuck American or Western.
The absolute fucking contempt.
Americans. It's hard to know. Haven't you used that argument?
Would you want to take financial advice from someone so unaware of what poor people experience that he actually did not believe his chat when chat was saying that you usually put down first and last month rent as a deposit? Do you really think this is the person who's best suited to counsel a poor person when it comes to financial matters?
Argument for black people that had time saving $20 for voter ID and the voting place removed away. What I'm saying is that,
Why is your brain so one-dimensional? What I'm saying is that we can have two simultaneous conversations. I can simultaneously say, hey, if we put this roadblock up to voting, it's probably going to make it so that, on average, less of these people will vote. I can say that while also not committing myself to the position, hey, every single black person is literally too fucking retarded to get a fucking driver's license. They can't do it. None of them can do it. It's all impossible.
The difference is the first argument that Destiny made there is the argument we're making about helping poor people. And the second argument is the straw man that Destiny is placing on our arguments. But he's lost. Like, I don't think he's capable of engaging in good faith with like any left-leaning position anymore. Which is pretty wild how quickly that happened.
You understand that you can have both of these positions. Hey, there are ways that you can improve their conditions. There are also ways that you can improve your conditions, through social programs and policies. It's not like a fucking one or the other, and there's no fucking middle ground. Like, here's something that I learned, right? Despite as poor as I was, I never went into credit card debt, and I never took out a payday loan, like ever, because homelessness was.
See, this is something that this is survivorship bias, and it's something that he would have argued against when arguing with people like 2 or 3 years ago. You can hear it in your mind. When I'm black, and hello, I'm on PragerU. When I was in the ghetto, you know, a lot of the other blacks, you know, due to their culture, were very dumb and wasted their money on things like crack cocaine and thugging and twerking. But I never did any of that. And now look at me. I'm wearing a suit and I'm on a YouTube video. Like, this is literally the exact same logic. Just like, hey, you know, when I was poor, I made it. He would have argued against this a while ago, but I guess now we're a little beyond that.
Was an option before getting into that kind of debt was. But that's like a financial education thing, right? Like, as soon as you've gotten to an area where you're.
Why are poor people typically not that well educated financially? Do you think there might be institutional barriers? Usually, if you were a consequentialist, and I've heard him claim that he is, you would be more interested in discussing issues that, you know, like policy issues that can be used to address the institutional inequalities here. But instead, he's obsessed not only with making these straw man arguments about how the far socialist left believes poor people are biologically incapable of moving.
Toss a coin to
Yes, Seas of Cheese. Destiny did argue against all of these exact points when he debated Sargon, because Sargon also excuses the plight of the poor people with bullshit individualism, you know, like bootstraps logic. That is an excellent point, but that was a long time ago, and Destiny's a lot angrier now, so you have to understand. Times have changed. Anyhow, you know, I feel like as a consequentialist, we'd be interested in addressing the systemic issues behind this, but he's just obsessed with this straw man. I have never heard this straw man in my life. I am very much in the left, you know. I am very, very much a part of the left. I have never seen anyone say this. Usually when left-leaning people say, you know, poor people can't move, they're saying this is like a tweet or like a YouTube comment. And when expanded upon, this person will say, well, when I say that, I obviously mean poor people can't just move forehead. It's not that easy to move. I have never seen somebody say sincerely and in earnest that it is impossible for poor people to move. I've never seen that, but he seems very upset by this characterization.
You're like going payday loan to pay off payday loan to pay off fucking credit cards and shit. You've already fucking ruined your fucking life, and there's nothing you're gonna be able to do to fucking save yourself at that point anyway.
Most people are families.
Damn, dude. You know? Your dad gets arrested on marijuana charges and you don't know what to do and you have no financial education because there's no way you could possibly have it with the educational circumstances you were born into. So you take out a payday loan and they were predatory and they're literally designed to fuck you over, and then you have to do everything you can to pull it back. Remember, if you're poor, remember, one or two little mistakes, they can send you to the street. Destiny's okay with that. One or two mistakes, a rich person though, you know, you just take that one on the shoulder. You can just weather that one, baby. Rich person, you can try on cars like you would shoes, my friend. Destiny could do that, you know. He could go, you know, into a dealership and buy a car, and then the next day, you know, crash it, and then show back up and say like, hey, can I have another one, please? He could do that, you know. It would suck. Maybe he'd injure himself a little bit, you know, with the car crash. I'm not saying it'd be great. But this is something he's argued before, that it's fucked up how poor people can make one or two little mistakes they don't even know how to avoid because they're not given the education to deal with those issues, and their life is fucked. But rich people can do whatever they want because they can cushion themselves. Money is like, it's like WD-40, it fixes everything. It's like duct tape. But that was then and this is now, you know. You don't even have to be a leftist to understand what I'm saying. I want to make this very, very clear. And I'm going to end the video here because like this is the same. This is actually like embarrassing to watch. I'm going to end the video here. And what I want to say is this. I'm not making leftist talking points here. At no point during this have I like made like an anti-capitalist. I think at the very beginning I said capitalist alienation or whatever. At no point during this have I made like a leftist argument. This is just basic progressive, like, social democracy. This is like very, very, very basic. Like, I'm pretty sure John Oliver would like 100% agree with what I'm saying. John Oliver is a liberal, you know? I'm pretty sure that like most reasonable people, like I feel like most Democratic Congress people, just like not even like AOC, just a regular Democrat would hear this and be pretty disgusted. So this isn't even like a leftist thing. This is just Destiny being essentially a right libertarian, or at least, you know, being adjacent to them in talking points, which is very cringe, extremely cringe. But there is one other thing that I want to say, and this is a talking point that I see. All of this got started with the central argument of, this is the central tenet that comes up. It is, hey, my rent is too high, and that's fucked up. Well, just move then. Well, it's hard to move, and there are reasons why I don't want to move. You really think, this is something Destiny likes to say, you really think that everyone in the world should be entitled to live in one of the biggest cities on earth? You really think that just every person, regardless of their income, should be able to live in Los Angeles or New York or Seattle or San Francisco or whatever? Huh. You really think so? I've heard him say that a lot. Can you raise your hand? Can I get a hypers if you've heard him say that too? Just so you guys know that I'm not like straw manning or anything, because he has said that. He has specifically said he specifically said, I don't see why everyone should be able to live in those cities. Here's a nice pointer, by the way, that we should all remember. Who keeps those fucking cities running? Do you think that San Francisco is just like 2.3 million Silicon Valley tech bros? There are no janitors. There are no service workers. There are no restaurant fucking people. No, there's nobody. It's just all people who make $120,000 a year or more. No, the fucking workers keep this city afloat. The workers keep every city afloat. That's what they do. They work. So what? So there are two options here. Either all of the people who make a city livable, all the service work, the cup of coffee that you get, the deliveries from Amazon that you receive, the drivers, the fucking Uber workers, everyone who works at every restaurant, all of these people. Either you're saying that they, A, leave the city, therefore rendering it a Bioshock-esque uninhabitable wasteland of upper middle class people with no underlying foundational worker support, A, which would destroy the city. Or B, that these people just continue to live in the city and spend 80% of their income on their rent. That a city is by necessity a machine for misery that requires millions of human beings live in abject poverty. Is that what we want? Is that what Destiny wants? He messages you on Discord? Oh, so he did. Let's go drag me on for a few minutes. Oh boy. See, it's not the YouTube that gets him. It's the D Live. All right, I don't know how he's not going to get banned for this, but